Welcome to How to Run Profitable Retreats. I am Leni Cavazos, retreat strategist and host of the show for coaches, entrepreneurs, and transformational leaders who want to design retreats that actually make money. If you've ever put your heart into a retreat only to walk away exhausted or worse, broke, you are not alone. This podcast is here to change that. Each week, I'll bring you stories, strategies, and expert insights to help you create meaningful, transformational retreats that also support your business, your lifestyle, and your bottom line. Let's make your next retreat not just powerful, but profitable. Hello, welcome back to another podcast episode of How to Run Profitable Retreats. I am your host, Leni Cavazos, and I am so thrilled to have here with me today, Agathe Lazaro. And just full disclosure here, she was my client a couple of years ago, and I'm just so thrilled that we're able to bring to the conversation today how about weaving experiences with harmony in the space. And the reason Agathe is the best person to talk about this is because she has felt the living intelligence of spaces for as long as she can remember. The way a room breathes, holds, or quietly restores. And for many years, she thought everyone else did as well. But it was only when she watched people step into her shop in India and basically something in them releasing, brightening, she understood that what felt natural to her was something she could offer. So she was born in France, shaped by India for many decades, and she started as a designer at the intersection of art, craft, and hospitality. And she has collaborated with pioneers in the field, created spaces such as La Maison Rose in Pondicherry, environments that move people without them quite knowing why. Because space is not neutral, space and self are in constant conversation. Beauty is as harmony is not decorative. It is a regulatory force. And this understanding expanded beyond design. So Agathe, thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, good morning. So happy to be here.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've had conversations behind the scenes about like sensory experiences and how to bring a harmony into everything. And when you're putting together a retreat, all the things that you can do even before the retreat starts and just behind the scenes, you were telling me a little bit about like crafting an altar to put this, like plant this intention of the retreat. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think it's very important and key to actually start weaving the relationship between the leader, the client, and the space where the work and the transformation is going to occur. So people can start making that a reality in their life prior to the retreat, much more than a sequence of email that we barely look at, but something very energetic and very part of daily life. So it's basically I teach retreat leader to create an altar based on natives. I have one of my teachers is a native Apache elder, and so based on this knowledge, we create an altar that is really just focused on the retreat itself, with the client that comes in, with the purpose of it, and all the elementals that are part of it.
Oh, I think this is such a great way to already create this energy when it comes to putting together a retreat from an experience. And you just made me remember of how I usually say that the moment the magic starts happening for a retreat is not the moment when you cross the door of the retreat, is the moment you say yes as an attendee to come. Like magic starts happening. I mean, absolutely. I remember one day I was going to this retreat and I signed up for this retreat, and it was a retreat that really was pushing my boundaries to the next level. Mm-hmm. And I felt the energy the moment I said yes. I felt something shift. Yeah. Like my dreams changed. Everything that was happening was very, very different, to the point where my mind was not really very present in the present moment. So I crashed my car. It was not a big accident, nothing major, right? Just a little bump on my car. But I was like, oh, okay, right? Like there all these things that happen energetically when we say yes to the work.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really kind of, as a leader also, you are really in the position where you have and with your work, it's so clear, like identifying the why, because without a why, you don't have a retreat. Without knowing the really core essence of what you want to offer, you don't have it. From that seed, you can start. It's like the first knot of a tapestry. From that seed, you can start weaving an entire story and a container and a tapestry that weaves the people in, weaves the land in, weaves the work in, so that by the time they arrive, it's almost the consecration of the entire work that has already happened. And this is when really the people arrive in safety. So we respect the nervous system, we nurture it in safety. They arrive ready to really bloom and transform because they have already done energetic work with the retreat that is upcoming. It is so essential. I think we are missing out a massive it's like we're working on the side of a cliff and the retreat is on the other side, and you work on the other side when you don't weave that harmonious fields between the place. And it's also about on the sensory, as you were mentioning before. I think it is very important to understand how we make sense of life. You make sense of life because you see, because you hear, because you taste, because you move. All of these are the incoming information that make the story of your life. If you don't know what is actually the most sensitive part of them, like if you were hypersensitive to the audition, then we would really gear out the retreat towards putting you into a place where the sound is subtle. So all of these different energy that are sometimes so subtle that I don't really feel they are very important. Once they are weaved together, then they really take they really take a dense power of transformation. They're extremely powerful.
Yeah, so for me, something that comes to mind is, so when I was working for like the Ritz-Carlton, it's all about the customer experience, right?
Yeah.
And there's even hotels like the Westin hotels that you can request a specific type of pillow. Right?
Yeah.
So there is all these different touch
Exactly.
points, right? The
Yeah.
scent. So if
Yeah.
someone is very sensitive to scent, and then people
Yeah.
are wearing a very overpowering perfume, that can disturb their experience.
Of course. It
So
triggers
big
the
thing,
nervous system.
right?
Of course. Absolutely. And you have it in very extreme quality service, but I think this we we have changed. The paradigm has become a biologic paradigm. So now we are looking at the things we were doing to please, to have a better rate, but we are looking at why was it a better rate? How is it the effect? What is the effect on the biological level? And this is the paradigm of this century, is that we want to actually work from the body, which is the reason why we are back on earth, and the tools and the vessels to walk around our life and transform. We are wanting to work from the experience of the body, therefore our biological blueprint, to be able to actually enhance and connect what we already did and connect, so we actually match it.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it takes me to so many places, Agatha, because for me, something that is very important when we're thinking about like
Yeah.
creating the experience of the retreat is not just the retreat itself, right? It's what happens before, throughout, and I know I always talk about very like marketing terms, but like the customer journey, right? And
Yeah.
this customer journey also works from an energetic level. It's not just the emails, like you mentioned, right? There's so many things before, but it's about the whole experience from the moment someone discovers your retreat and considers if they want to come to the retreat, to the moment they say, yes, I'm going to come, to the moment when they actually show up. And then
Yeah.
what happens when they leave?
Well, again, I think there is, according to the retreat, the one that we are doing now in Provence is a shamanic retreat, a journey, wisdom retreat on the rainbow color. on the rainbow wisdom of the Apache knowledge, people are going to go with essential elements from the place that are going to be charging their journey back home, and that is going to be given back, and there will be an exchange again of the elementals. Nature is an exchange. You take and you give back all the time. This is the golden rule. So they will learn how to actually create that exchange. And I think once you actually have experience a space that is in attunement on all of these different layer, very subtle layer, you go back home and you realize, oh, I can shift that there, and I can shift. And how does that make me feel? And when I enter my space, where is my heart beating more, or where is the flow, where is the tension? And you can actually start readjusting everything because you have experienced the harmony itself.
Mm. Yeah, I think this is so powerful. And just a note for everyone who's listening to this episode, Agathe has two beautiful properties where she hosts retreats and she rents out for retreats. One is in Provence, France, and the other one is in Pondicherry in India. So, just for any of those of you who are thinking, oh, well, maybe I could have this curated experience that has this harmony created inside of me, instead of my retreat, well, why not maybe think about doing it in a place like Agathe's place that has been curated specifically for this?
Yes, we have really organized the journey of the retreat leader in a way that I think hasn't been done yet, and that addresses points that are vacant, and sometimes people are not aware that, oh, I could do that to support myself, oh, I could have that help to support, and it hasn't been proposed yet. So it's really something. The journey, the help to the leader is the same than for the client who comes to the retreat. And I'm really on the holding space they're creating. So I greet the land. The land is prepared. The fences are all prepared. The special drink that we enliven enhance some things. The food enhance some things different. And there is a journey of the food from the beginning to the end. It's all very, very, and there's a lot of supports proposed, and it's a beautiful journey. It's really beautiful journey.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to have you here as a guest on this podcast, because you bring this vision of, yes, having a retreat that is profitable, that people buy, right? That people sign up for. That is, of course, you need people to attend your retreat, but how you do it from this lens of the energy.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, we need to have the website and the talk to people and sell the retreat, because if you don't talk to anyone, no one will show up. Even if you put everything energetically, right? You still need to use your voice, and it's about the power of your voice, of communicating what you have to offer. So it's still within the energetic space.
Yeah.
But how do you support it from these place that goes beyond the 3D, right? Beyond this space of the logical piece of I need to do in order to make it happen.
Yeah. But I think there's also very key elements of this energetic work which are very tangible. I mean, we work through the paradigm of the nervous system and our biology. So this is key and essential. Without that, we can't create, we can't transform. There's no deep safety. I'm not talking about feeling safe in the body, but really deep safety, like the gate is always closed, and there is something that is very important in there. But also biophilia, which has been developed from the hospitality, from the hospital environment in the 70s, then moved to the hospitality business, and this is now really more widely developed, which is also very scientific based knowledge. But also the sensory matrix is from occupational therapist background, and so it's another. So they're all very scientific based tools, but they put together so that through beauty, because that's my original tool because I was a designer, created space, so something had to be beautiful to enhance and to hijack someone, to have beauty hijack the soul and enhance it. So beauty is the source, and everything else kind of take together and weave together. So they are really tangible um, uh, skills and tools. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, Agatha, thank you so much for being here. I really
Mhm.
appreciate you bringing this different lens to when it comes to hosting retreats and everything that can happen. So please make sure to connect with her. Agatha, where is the best place for people to reach out to you?
Yeah, the best place is the website. It's www.agathelazaro.com. Very
Perfect. So
simple.
you can all find it in the show notes. Make sure you go check her out, check her venues and everything that she offers, because it really changes the way you do things. It, it changes the way you show up and how we can create beautiful things, beautiful offerings, beautiful experiences that will change people's lives.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Agatha. And for everyone who has not joined yet, join my next Profitable Retreats Masterclass. You can find the link in the show notes, and I hope to see you there. And until next week.
Bye. Thank you.